And that being said, we move on to industry news. And we're going to start here with something that's very, very exciting, and that is the new revamped Delta Airlines Terminal 3 at Los Angeles International Airport. This includes a fairly comprehensive renovation of the not air side, but more the terminal side portion of the airport. This includes new check-in, new hallways, and of course the new Delta Sky Club. Of course, the Sky Club is a fairly exclusive lounge that is only accessible to Delta Sky Club members, and also there are some other ways you can get it, such as, for example, if you have the American Express Platinum card, you get free access to it. And there are also, if you have a first class international ticket, you get free access to it. So there are ways to get in there, but just keep in mind that in order to get into this very nice new Sky Club, it is quite expensive. Anyway, cut it. Even the American Express card is currently at $700 a year, which I will be getting because it has some really nice benefits to it, such as access to any Delta Sky Club. But yeah, the new Sky Club looks fantastic with views of Delta's Terminal 3, but there are a lot of nice upgrades they've made to this terminal. Of course, the Sky Club looks incredible, and they've also upgraded the area where you come into the terminal, like when you check in, that area is much nicer. They've just improved the overall passenger experience from the moment you arrive at the airport to when you get to the gates. So that portion of LAX is much nicer, and it should be a great improvement because LAX is sort of gaining a reputation of some travelers as not a very good airport to fly through, and so this is LAX's way of combating that. I do expect to see other terminals to see renovations as well, but Delta Airlines is leading the way with their new Sky Club and other products that they have now improved at the airport.
Understatement for that. Really happy with LAX, and I'm really hopeful that the reputation grows going forward. Boeing donates $10 million to the carbon capture research to start our industry news. And of course, in industry news, we'll be covering different things throughout the industry, including manufacturer news, different employee stuff. There'll be a lot of variety here. But Boeing's donating some solid money here to help carbon capture research, which is awesome. So we're going to be working on that with them. So it's going to be exciting to see them donate $10 million to Yale University in the involving carbon sequel. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. My pronunciation for CESA is probably done. But they're going to be doing it over 5 years, which is really nice. And Chris Raymond had to say about this: climate change is one of the biggest challenges of our lifetime, and at Boeing, we believe that it has the responsibility to take action and help find solutions to reverse its effect. To find sustainable solutions, we must work together across the industry and and invest in the scientific research and development that are crucial to the success of tackling climate change. This program brings all of those components together, and we're honored to support Yale's groundbreaking and important work in this space. Absolute W, man. I'm really excited to see the donation here, and hopefully this is going to help the environment a ton. So I'm a big environment guy myself. Hopefully that this will improve it substantially. And then, like we just talked about with all the biofuel and all that fun stuff, I really feel like we're progressing well. Technology is definitely getting there, and hopefully we'll be able to prevent pollution and such, things like along those lines. So very exciting there for Boeing. I think that's absolutely awesome. So well done, Boeing.
So we already have a major aviation incident here for the month of May. It didn't take long for that to happen, but Gol and Azul have had a little coming together at an airport. Gol 737 wingtip made contact with the APU exhaust of an Azul Embraer 190. So the exact details of how this happened or who was at fault or all that sort of fun stuff is not known yet. But all we know that 2 aircraft were damaged, and both will be not permanently, but temporarily grounded until the aircraft are repaired. These are fairly significant damages. The Gol has part of its winglet just sealed off, so that's definitely not going to be coming back to service anytime soon. Same thing with the Azul, with its APU exhaust outlet being significantly damaged. So we don't know a whole lot about this incident except for when and where it happened, but other than that, things should get better in the near future.
Yeah, quite an interesting instance right there. Hopefully, we won't be seeing that all the time, but yeah, very tough. What can I say? The FAA has downgraded Russia's safety rating, unfortunately, to a Category 2, which is quite unfortunate. Now, obviously, I don't want to say this was ineditable, but at the same time, it kind of was. So the FAA, of course, took it down to a Category 2 because it did not comply with the ICAO safety standards. So that's the reason that they had to downgrade it. It's not the first country to get downgraded, of course. Obviously, there's been various reasons, but countries such as Mexico and Pakistan have also been downgraded to the Category 2 by the FAA, which is quite unfortunate. This also isn't the first time in recent history that something like this has happened. As about a year ago, you guys may remember this news, Mexico got downgraded to the Category 2. So, yeah, this is just a very interesting situation. We'll have to see how it unfolds. And again, we'll have a lot of storylines going forward on the whole situation over there. Hopefully it gets better soon, but for the moment, we just have to deal with what we have, and that just starts with the safety rating being downgraded after a 2-month assessment by the FAA.
Is there a rating lower than Category 2?
As far as I'm aware, I don't think so. I would think there would be a 1, but I don't know who could have a 1. That's a very good question. That's going to have to be something to look into.
So the top rating is a 3?
See that? I don't know if you could get up to 4 or not. I want to be looking into that. Very good point. So I'm looking that up for sure after this. Very good point. We'll be sure to get back with you guys on that for sure.
Yeah, if there's a country,
let us know in the comments, guys. We'd appreciate the details and categories for the FAA.
Yeah, if there's a country that has a 1, I guarantee you it's Iran, because their aviation is possibly one of the most dangerous ones you can fly on. Speaking of similar topic, Russian aviation is in a really rough sequence right now, and the International Air Leasing Corporation, Aviation, has 10 aircraft which will not be returning to the leasehold due to the Russian situation. I believe these were all A320neos, which were leased to S7 Airlines. And this leads to the airline taking a $182 million loss, which is fairly significant, as these aircraft are considered to be deemed total losses and will probably never be recovered by the leasehold.
Absolutely right on that. Quite an interesting storyline for sure they're going. It's going to be eager to see the progression going on there. Next really interesting article. Lufthansa Technik chosen to support Avelo Airlines Boeing 737 fleet, which is really cool. Now, Lufthansa Technik mainly deals with Lufthansa Airlines, as you guys may know. I actually have some interesting connections here, as they have a facility over in Tulsa, which is really cool, and they brought various aircraft over the years. But they are going to be helping them with their 737-700s and 800s. Avelo now has 5 of those 737-700s, which is really cool. So this is a new partnership that will be starting to help out with the fleet, which is going to be really nice. As you guys may know, they began operating in April 2021 and have 150 weekly flights, which is awesome. Gary Martin, which is the head of the technical operations at Avelo, said, Avelo Airlines is pursuing an ambitious growth plan, something that would be impossible without a strong support of our partners. We rely on Lufthansa Technik, who renewed reliability, which will help us achieve our operational performance of our customers that we expect from Avelo. Meanwhile, the senior director of corporate sales Americas at Lufthansa Technik, that is, hopefully I get this right, Korzenian Zacharias, said, we thank Avelo for the trust they put in us, and we are eager to justify it with outstanding reliability and service in order to strongly support the Avelo in their growth plan. So really excited. I think that they're going to do really, really good. And of course, we'll be eager to see if more maintenance news comes throughout the industry. But this is absolutely awesome. I think that the future there is going to be really strong. So that's a really nice W right there for Lufthansa Technik and Avelo.
Yeah, and getting to some fun history. In May of 2006, SON was discontinued. So you might wonder what SON was. They were the not ultra low cost, but low cost carrier that Delta had started. So due to this great success of Southwest Airlines and a few other airlines like it, like Frontier at the time was also doing fairly well, some airlines, the major carriers, decided to come up with their own competitors. United had 10, Delta had SON. I believe it was U.S. Airways that had Metro or New York Air. Someone can correct me on that. But none of these operations were successful. And the reason why is the major brands did not understand what made an airline like Southwest successful. And that was using secondary markets and a one fleet strategy to reduce costs. They had lots of ways to reduce costs and therefore offer lower ticket prices. The problem is, an airline like Delta with SON tried to operate a similar model to what they did with the mainline carriers on an ultra low cost or low cost subsidiary market, and that just did not work for them. Same thing happened with United and TED. Delta and SON were not successful for that reason, and so that is why in May of 2006, 16 years ago, Delta Airlines decided to discontinue SON.
Yeah, Song was quite a cool airline. Miss them dearly, and the thought, with Song, TED, all of these kind of off-brand, low-cost carriers was quite interesting. And I feel like that hasn't really happened as of late since we have all the low-cost carriers now, but it's quite a thought. So, very cool piece of aviation history. Let me know if you guys like those brief articles on aviation history. We'd love to throw more of those in, and definitely some trivia in that department as well, and questions, Q&As, and all that fun stuff as well.
Runway 17, clear to land. Clear to land, runway 17, come on, 257 Kilo Alpha.